as an example of the power of the matrix. In 1927, Werner Heisenberg and Max Born declared imperiously quantum is a closed theory. It will brook no further modification, full stop. And that's an instruction to science. And they're still following it. And the proof of that is in the physics tutor that I hired. Now, he was a guy, master's level, lovely guy, very smart. And I went to him with the idea, I said, I've got a double slit solution, I want you to disprove it. And if he couldn't disprove it, then I knew I was on the right line. It's not that he proved it, he just couldn't disprove it. The first lesson, the first time we spent together, not lesson, the first time we spent together, he sent me a text saying, my mind is blown with what you have shown me. Hour and a half, he hadn't disproved it, and I knew I was going right. He then suggested about the next session, about what we talked about to step forward, and that I needed a unit. The unit of seconds doesn't work on the x-axis with what I described. And so I suggested the meter second as a space time, meter dot second unit, space dot time unit. Made sense as a step to make. And then he drew the wave and said, yes, that works. I think I did one more session with him. And then after that, he changed. Now, get that he'd sent me a text saying, my mind is blown with what you have shown me after the first session. After the third session, I was going, come on, you've got to take this idea to what I was hoping was, he would have contacts in the physics world, lecturers and stuff that from his world, and he would pass this up the chain saying, I've got an idea. I said, you have it. I don't care. You have it. It's your discovery, the meter second. It's you. I found it because of you. He said to me, you're just breaking too many rules. That's what he said. I'm breaking too many rules. And I said, no, I had a big argument with him about you have to, if there's no proof of this rule, you have to break it and see what lies behind it, because perhaps it's the rule that's causing the problem. The blunder at the foundation of science that means that you can't explain any of the observations in nature that you're making. It's getting worse and worse, isn't it? And so we had a big argument about it. He just wouldn't. And I was trying to paint it as everything, as a Nobel Prize, and at that time, Nobel Prize for for the solution to the double slit, blah blah blah. No, just leave me alone was what he was saying, and so I did, because what I was doing was poking right at that core of protection that we all have around us, our hearts, that we build up this shield, and that the shield is there, we think, because it keeps us safe. We think that if we push into that shield, we will be unsafe, and so we don't push into there. And this is all subconscious, mind. All subconscious, placed there. This is how the corruption works. That thought is placed there, so you just don't go there. Go back to 27 as an instruction, and you go, bloody hell, that's a powerful piece of work that they've done there. How can they do that? How can they issue an instruction 2023 still going? People won't look at this possible option that explains all the mysteries in science. And here we are today. And even if we stand and watched the bodies of children the pile of bodies of children get higher and higher, we still won't look at that. We think, oh no, this is necessary because it keeps us safe. That's the power of the matrix. It works in us all of us. Even if you, and I feel I've moved on so far in terms of my own understanding of who I am and the soul, the infinity, the immortal soul that I am, my protein still struggles with this programming. I have to push past it, and you'll see sometimes that when I'm trying to speak fluently, I'll just suddenly stumble or drop some words in that don't make any sense, as a word salad, or that's the matrix kicking in to try and stop me going down this route that I want to go. Just accept this might be true. The power of the placing of a thought that you don't see. Test if that's true. Have you got that thought in you? Have you got something in you that says, don't look at this, don't push into that shield, don't go there, ever? and the Palestine situation shows how powerful that is. So this is the choice you're now making. Each individual must now look at what's happening, specifically in Palestine, and say, I'm choosing this, rather than looking inside and seeing maybe there's something at fault here, not with me, but with the way that my subconscious is working. And I need to push through that, to choose to push through it, in order to get another perspective on what's going on. Because this is all about perspective. Narcissism is a spectrum. At its worst, it means that you can never take the perspective of anyone else except yourself. Hello 2023. We've been pushed, nudge by nudge by nudge, towards this position where you can stand and look at what's happening in Palestine and go and make excuses to allow it to continue. The perspective that you require is one of empathy. Empathy can be defined by the ability to take the perspective of another entirely. Entirely take yourself out, stand and look at this other entity and take that perspective. Can you do it? If you can, you're breaking your narcissistic code. If you can do that, you can then look at science and take a new perspective. You can place yourself with your imagination at the center of a subatomic particle, the time particle. You can place yourself in the center on that standing wave at the equator and look out at the solar system and the universe that we see. And you will see, it makes more sense. But it's that first step to take the perspective that's different from what you've been trained to believe is true. Trusting that if you push into that shield, you'll be safe. And all I can say to you is that you are safe. You are loved by God. He's looking forward to meeting you. In his world. So be ready for that. These are the steps that are coming, and it's now unavoidable. The reason they're not telling you about the UAPs, about any of this stuff, is that it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. That the end of the world arrives when you believe that the end of the world is about to arrive. As more and more people are believing that that's true, it's fulfilling its own prophecy. The only way that it can be stopped is through sheer violence and terror. That it's telling you, if you push into that shield, you'll be in that pile of bodies. So don't go there. They're lying to you. They're lying. Don't write your name in blood. Write your name on your heart. And carry it across the veil. And be ready for the new world. Take that perspective. Take it. It's yours. It's the true perspective. Buckle up.